Okay, hi everyone. This is Naomi,
And Vince.
and welcome to our home. And here we are celebrating our first poetry gathering in July. You're on.
Hi, everybody. How are you? It's July, and we've been doing this a lot longer than I thought we would. But either way, it's wonderful to see you, and it's wonderful to be with you. And tonight, we're going to celebrate our first video in July with some wonderful words. We'll begin with wonderful words from local artists, followed by artists from across the country in the decades. Some wonderful words to celebrate our 244th birthday this weekend, and some words of wisdom. We'll begin with local friends of the Medford Arts Center who have written haikus. These are informal haikus written and inspired during the coronavirus. First, we'll begin with Valerie. The sun on the horizon. Alas, a brand new day. Thank you, Valerie. Next, Susan. Contemplating life. We meditate together. She purrs her mantra. Early morn birdsong. Sweet summer smells inspire. Ready for the day. Thank you, Sue. And finally, our friend Pat, who was inspired after some recent storms. She wrote, no electric, no internet, no sound, disconnected. Riverton, wind shears the mighty oaks, tree, debris, city. And finally, in the treetops, crows caw, lights out. Hope you have the power back, Pat. Hope you're well. Next, an artist born November 5th, 1850, in Johnstown, Wisconsin. She began writing poetry at the age of 8, and she was first published at the age of 13. On February 25th, 1883, this artist was traveling to participate in the governor of Wisconsin's inaugural ball. On her way, she met a fellow passenger who was distraught. This woman was crying, and the artist tried to console her. That meeting inspired Ella Wheeler Wilcox to write Solitude. Laugh, and the world laughs with you. Weep, and you weep alone. For the sad old earth must borrow its mirth, but has trouble enough of its own. Sing, and the hills will answer. Sigh, it is lost on the air. The echoes bound to a joyful sound, but shrink from voicing care. Rejoice, and men will seek you. Grieve, and they turn and go. They want full measure of all your pleasure, but they don't need your woe. Be glad, and your friends are many. Be sad, and you lose them all. There are none to decline your nectared wine, but alone you must drink life's gall. Feast, and your halls are crowded. Fast, and the world goes by. Succeed and give, and it helps you live, but no man can help you die. There is room in the halls of pleasure for a large and lordly train, but one by one we must all file on through the narrow aisles of pain. Ella Wheeler Wilcox. Our next artist was born March 26, 1874 in San Francisco. He's a playwright and a poet. He's also the Poet Laureate of Vermont. Robert Frost is the only poet to ever receive 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. When he published The Road Not Taken in 1916, He could never imagine that it would one day be used as an advertisement for Monster.com or Mentos or Ford. These words have become so ubiquitous that they're on coffee mugs, refrigerator magnets, and in graduation speeches. And some believe these words are the most popular piece of literature ever written by an American. This is Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Or I kept the first another day, yet knowing how May way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Robert Frost. Now we move on to celebrate America. These words were first published in 1945 in a 10-minute short film starring Frank Sinatra. In that movie, he sang the song, The House I Live In. The lyrics were written by Abel Meeropol. What is America to me? A name, a map, or a flag I see? A certain word, democracy. What is America to me? The house I live in, a plot of earth, the street, the grocer and the butcher, or the people that I meet, the children in the playground, the faces that I see, all races and religions. That's America to me. The place I work in, the worker by my side, the little town, the city where my people lived and died, the howdy and the handshake, the air of feeling free, and the right to speak your mind out. That's America to me. The things I see about me, the big things and the small, the little corner newsstand or the house a mile tall, the wedding in the churchyard, the laughter and the tears, the dream that's been a-growing for more than 200 years. The town I live in, the street, the house, the room, the pavement of the city, or a garden all in bloom, the church, the school, the clubhouse, the million lights I see, but especially the people. That's America to me. Next, an artist born July 14th, 1912 in Okima, Oklahoma. These words were written in 1940, recorded in 1944, and released in 1945. This is Woodrow Wilson Guthrie's This Land Is Your Land. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts. And all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving, the dust clouds rolling, as the fog was lifting, a voice was chanting. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking, I saw a sign there, and on that sign it said no trespassing. But on the other side, it didn't say nothing. That side was made for you and me. In the shadow of the steeple I saw my people. By the relief office I've seen my people. As they stood there hungry, I stood there asking, is this land made for you and me? Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can ever make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. Our next artist was born August 12th in Falmouth, Massachusetts, and she was a member of the Wellesley College faculty that was visiting Colorado in the summer of 1893. This artist and some of her fellow teachers decided to take a break and climb to the top of Pikes Peak. And when she arrived there, Catherine Lee Bates was inspired to write the words of America the Beautiful. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet whose stern impassions dress a thoroughfare of freedom beat across the wilderness. America, America, God mend thine every flaw. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law. O beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and every grain divine. O beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. And finally tonight, words of impact. Words from an author born on July 22nd, 1849 in New York City, activist and poet. By 1883, she was a world-famous poet, and she decided to write a sonnet. And she submitted that sonnet to an auction to raise funds to build a pedestal upon which a statue would stand as a gift from the people of France to the people of the United States of America. Most of us only know the last couple of lines of this sonnet, but tonight I'd like to share with you the complete words of Emma Lazarus's The New Colossus. Not like the brazen giant of Greek fame, with conquering limbs astride from land to land, here at our sea-washed sunset gates shall stand a mighty woman with a torch, whose flame is the imprisoned lightning, and her name, Mother of Exiles. From her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. Her mild eyes command the air-bridged harbor that twin cities frame. Keep, ancient lands, your storied pomp, cries she with silent lips. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, the tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. And lastly, the words written by Tom Schulman, winner of the Academy Award for Screenwriting in 1990. We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion. In medicine, law, business, engineering, these are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But poetry, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. We miss you all so very much. We wish you well until we see you again. Good night.
Stay well. Good night. Oh, we should hum "This Land Is Your Land" as we end.
This land is our
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Good night.
Good night.